It was more than just a concert. It was a cultural event that captivated Europe. As the Grand National Tour kicked off in Cologne, Germany, Kendrick Lamar and SZA displayed their distinctive artistry, emotional resonance, and theatrical flair, earning an overwhelmingly positive reception. Fans gathered outside the Rhein-Energy Stadion long before the gates opened, their voices rising in a vibrant mix of languages: German, English, French, Polish, Arabic, and Spanish. As the sun set behind the stadium's towering lights, the heat radiated from the concrete, but no one seemed to care. They were there for Kendrick Lamar and SZA, and on this night, nothing else mattered. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Hip Hop Showroom, where hip hop and celebrity drama never sleep, so hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it. Just over 2 weeks earlier, Kendrick and SZA had energized the crowd at Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland, concluding the North American leg of their Grand National Tour with a blend of triumph and a hint of bittersweet farewell. That finale was monumental: 51 songs, 2 voices intertwining through various eras and emotions, reflecting careers built on openness and creativity. Yet, the duo knew their journey was far from over. If anything, it was just beginning. Europe was calling, and now Cologne was responding. The requirements for a successful international stop are extensive: cultural nuances, travel logistics, local marketing, equipment transport, and language barriers. However, when the tour crew arrived in Cologne for initial sound checks and stage rehearsals, it was evident that the audience was ready. News had spread through social media, fueled by clips from earlier performances, Kendrick's sharp delivery, SZA's captivating vocals, and their undeniable chemistry that turns every chorus into a shared experience. By the time the doors opened on June 2nd, the stadium had already come alive. Merchandise booths quickly sold out of vinyl records and t-shirts within the first hour. Food stalls catered to local tastes, featuring a currywurst stand next to vegan falafel, and beer gardens offering Kolsch alongside bottled water. Fans shared stories of past concerts, discussed which songs they hoped to hear, and playfully debated who would open the show: Kendrick's Whacked Out Murals or SZA's SOS. At 7:30 p.m., the lights dimmed throughout the venue. A hush fell over the crowd, an expectant pause like holding one's breath before a storm. Then, the opening notes of Whacked Out Murals echoed through the stadium. Kendrick stepped into the spotlight on the central stage, his silhouette illuminated. The audience surged forward, a sea of eager fans leaning in, hungry for every word. Kendrick's voice cut through the air with precision. He moved intentionally, every action in harmony with the beat, and his gaze directed at various sections of the arena. Fans in the front row strained to make eye contact, while those further back raised their phones, and even on screens, he seemed larger than life. In that moment, language differences vanished. German fans who had spent their afternoons sipping Apfelschorle were now singing back lines originally penned in Compton. Their pronunciation might have varied, their accents softened, but the enthusiasm was unmistakably the same. Behind him, the massive LED screens on stage showcased images of urban landscapes, graffiti-covered walls, sprawling highways, and close-ups of Lamar's childhood neighborhood. These visuals crafted a narrative of his origins and development, reminding everyone why these songs are meaningful. This was more than just a performance, it was a cultural exchange. As the last notes of Whacked Out Murals faded, Kendrick turned to introduce the next song with a simple question: "Cologne, you ready?" The thunderous response was not just an indication of readiness, it was a declaration. They were there. They had arrived. They were eager for every word. And then SZA made her entrance. Her arrival was a striking contrast. While Kendrick moved with focused intensity, SZA floated in amidst soft pastel lighting, her figure gently obscured by smoke machines that filled the air with a low-hanging mist. She began with SOS, her voice clear yet deeply emotional. The crowd fell silent in awe, as if reminded that vulnerability could be the most powerful force of all. The first duet of the night came with All the Stars, their harmonies intertwining over a powerful beat. For a brief moment, they stood on separate platforms, connected only by their voices, with the music bridging the distance between them. The audience erupted, jumping in unison, cell phones raised like lights. The phrase, "all the stars," resonated not just through the speakers, but in every spine and nerve, as if the collective heartbeat of the stadium had synchronized to the rhythm. The setlist took the audience on a journey through shared experiences, featuring the rebellious energy of DNA, the confidence of X, and the introspective nature of Pride. Each song felt like a chapter in a larger narrative, with fans passionately singing along. When Kendrick performed Humble, the impact was profound. The walls of the pit shook, and security rails bent as the crowd surged forward, demonstrating that some songs are not merely heard, they are deeply felt. The real magic of the show emerged in its middle section, where the atmosphere transformed with slower, more experimental songs. SZA's voice stood out on tracks like Broken Clocks and 20-something, her themes of longing and self-discovery resonating throughout the venue. Fans gently swayed, their phone flashlights illuminating the space, their voices soft yet passionate. It was a collective moment of openness, reflecting shared experiences of love, loss, and the search for meaning in their 20s. Kendrick joined her for All Came Back, with lyrics reflecting on fate and forgiveness, the past, and what lies ahead. The visuals shifted to clips of SZA performing in intimate venues, her face glowing in lamplight, mixed with footage of Lamar in sold-out arenas around the globe. This showcased their journey, two artists who began in small settings now captivating audiences of tens of thousands, all eyes on them. The energy spiked again when DJ Mustard took the stage for a short set. His performance was dynamic and lively, infused with West Coast vibes, honoring his roots while propelling the night forward. Fans moved closer to the stage, dancing in small groups, their voices merging into chants that became part of the music. Cologne transformed from a mere audience into a collaborator, adding its distinct sound to the grand national tour experience. Kendrick then surprised the audience with lesser-known tracks like Untitled 02 and Lust. The German crowd, far from being passive, enthusiastically shouted every line back, their accents playfully wrapping around the words like birds mimicking a tune. This illustrated how hip-hop has become a global language, crossing oceans and borders through rhythm and storytelling. The highlight came with a powerful rendition of Not Like Us. When Kendrick delivered the line about "They not like us," the stadium erupted in a unified cheer. Flags waved, some German, some Algerian, some Palestinian, each representing a community united by music. This was more than just a performance. It was a statement about how art can be both personal and universal. SZA returned for an encore with 30 for 30 and All the Stars, showcasing their chemistry. 30 for 30 turned into a playful exchange, with fans cheering for every clever line. When Kendrick rapped, "UFN with niggas that think they cuter than you." Oh, the crowd erupted, the simplicity of the line igniting a joyful connection. It served as a reminder that even the most pointed lyrics can create unity among people. As the evening drew to a close, they concluded with Gloria, a collaborative track from Kendrick's latest album, a fitting end to the night. The word Gloria illuminated the screens in bold gold, and the fans passionately responded, their voices echoing through the stadium like a hymn. For a fleeting moment, it felt like a collective exhale, a release of built-up tension and energy, encapsulating months of touring in one final high point. As the last notes faded, Kendrick looked out at the crowd, sweat glistening on his forehead. He raised his fist, nodded, and silently expressed his gratitude with a "Danke," the German word for thank you. SZA joined him, holding hands as waves of appreciation flowed between them and the audience. There were no scripted goodbyes or rehearsed closing statements, just genuine gratitude. Outside the Rhine Energy Stadium, fans lingered in the plaza, reluctant to leave the excitement of the night behind. Conversations buzzed in multiple languages as fans shared videos and stories. "Did you see her face when I still can't believe she hit that note. This crowd is the loudest I've ever heard." Local radio stations replayed highlights, and hashtags began trending before midnight. In just one night, Cologne had left its mark on the grand national tour. For Kendrick Lamar and SZA, this was more than just a successful debut overseas. It showcased how their art, rooted in their unique backgrounds, one from California and the other from Louisiana, has blossomed into a global movement. These songs, born in bedrooms and small venues, have evolved into anthems sung by fans worldwide, each adding their own interpretation and emotion. The statistics tell part of the story: $256.4 million earned across North America, making it the most successful co-headlining tour ever, with projections to reach $400 million by the end. Sellout crowds have filled venues from Landover to Los Angeles, and now Cologne, with Frankfurt, Amsterdam, and Paris next on the itinerary. However, the true essence lies in moments like this, when a German stadium becomes a haven of shared passion, when strangers come together as a choir, and when lyrics penned in one city resonate halfway across the globe. Kendrick and SZA will carry this energy into their European shows: Frankfurt on July 4th and 5th, followed by Barcelona, Milan, London, and Stockholm. Each location promises its own unique atmosphere, crowd, and late-night stories. Then, in late September, Kendrick will return for his solo Latin American and Australian dates, featuring Argentine duo CA7 Riel and Paco Amoroso as opening acts. Meanwhile, SZA will remain in Europe, her voice still resonating as she prepares for her next chapter. For now, Cologne demonstrates that the Grand National Tour is not just a phenomenon in North America, it is a global movement. It unites two voices and two visions, creating a collective experience filled with energy, sound, sweat, and song, highlighting our shared humanity. As the tour progresses, one thing is evident: wherever Kendrick Lamar and SZA travel next, they will find enthusiastic fans ready to greet them, singing in their own languages and sharing the stories and emotions that inspired these songs. In those moments, as the music resonates and the crowd erupts in cheers, barriers will disappear, and everyone will feel part of something larger than a mere concert. They will come to understand that they are witnessing the creation of history. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.